Good morning, everyone. This is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my monthly Friday Folds class. I know a lot of you guys get excited when you see some new folds, and I'm always happy to show you. If there's ever a fold that you guys have seen that you don't know how to do and you'd love for me to show you, make sure you message me so I can do that for you. So good morning, everyone. I can see you all coming on. Just a few announcements before I get started. This is my free card kit for the month of August for anyone that places orders online with me. I'll send you all of the pieces to create your own card. My door prize for the month of August, for any order, any type of order, your name will be entered to win the perfectly paired stamp set. And then we only have a little over a week left for our extra promotion. That's where you can choose $155 worth of products in our catalog and pay only $99 and free shipping. And I would love to have you join my team. I've had quite a few people join so far. So this ends on August 31st. So make sure you sign up by August 31st. And lastly, my hostess code for the month of August. Everybody that places a $50 order or more, you can use this code when checking out and you'll earn some free products from me. So I have a really cute project to show you today. I'm using the Ride With Me bundle, which includes the truck ride dies. And the die for the truck itself, it looks like this. I'm going to be using that today in two ways. So the intended purpose is to create this little 3D pickup truck. Isn't that cute? Totally adorable. And I'm going to show you the page in the catalog that has the stamp set, which is item number 149312. And then the dies that coordinate to cut out all of the gray pieces you see here and to also create this cute little truck. Now, you can bundle both of these products and save 20% with item number 151106. Now, because this is Friday Folds, this is just a bonus project because I wanted to show you guys how to put this together. So I'm also going to use the die to create a card, and it's got a flat pickup in the front instead of a 3D pickup. And then you open up the card this way. So it's like a Z fold that's sandwiched between two pieces of cardstock. So look how many trucks I have on there. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I hope you're excited about this card as much as I am. So I've gone ahead and cut out a lot of the pieces ahead of time because there's so many. Because we need 5 of the trees. We need, let me see. I think it was 10 tires, and the fenders, we need 5 of those, because even though there's 2 of everything on the 3D truck, the pickup is just one-sided, so you just need half of the pieces. Now for the sentiments, I added some different sentiments on this card that are not from this stamp set. I'm using the Tidings All Around stamp set, which will be available on September 4th. I just love the fonts and I thought they'd be perfect for the inside of my card. Now the first thing I'm going to do is do up the background only because it's wet and I want it to dry while we're doing everything else. But let me bring in all of the cardstock pieces. So this one is to cut out the little truck. That measures 6.5 by 4.5, so we're going to do that a little later. Let me open this so you can see what I'm talking about when I give you. So you need 2 of the Poppy Parade, 2 of the Old Olive to sandwich the Z fold. Those measure 5.5 by 4.25. Then we've got 2 of the Old Olive, 4.75 by 3.75. And then the piece of white for the front. This one measures 4.5 by 3.5. And then this long piece on the inside, we're going to actually score. This measures 11 by 3.5. So we're going to score that later. And then we just need some scrap pieces for the remainder of the stamping for the truck pieces. So just some white, Old Olive, and Poppy Parade. So let me go ahead and do the wash that I did on the white piece to start off. So for ink colors today, I'm using Whisper White, Old Olive, and Memento Black. I'm also going to bring in, I want to make sure one of these aqua painters has white on it. Okay, this one has white. I'm going to show you that later. So Old Olive, I'm just going to squeeze the lid. So I'm seeing a lot of comments saying that you guys love this truck. I do too. It's so cute. Now I'm using the ink at the top of the cover that I just squeezed. I'm going to water it down. And all I'm going to do is quickly do a wash. And that's it on that. We're going to let that dry while we do everything else. So now let's bring in all of the pieces we're going to have to cut so I can get the cutting done. So we're going to need, like I said, let me bring in all the pieces I've done ahead of time in case you guys want to follow along. So I've got 8 tires. I actually need 10. I've got one stamped here. I'm going to stamp one more. So there's my 10. And then as far as the truck, you have to kind of figure out which direction your truck is going to be facing on your card. So I've done the 3 that go inside the card because my truck is facing the same direction all 3 times. So now I need a fender for the 3D truck on each side. So we're going to do 2 of those. And then we need 5 trees. I need 1 more tree. Where's my tree image? Right here. So as you can see, there's a lot of cutting, and I wanted to do some ahead of time so that you guys wouldn't have to watch me cut everything. And then we're going to go ahead and cut the truck. So let me make some room for the big shot. So the first one I'm going to cut is the big truck die. That's going to go on Poppy Parade, the large piece that I gave you measurements for. And next we've got all the little pieces to cut out. Now what is great about, I gotta find my dies. What is great about the tires, oh, you know what? I forgot to stamp one part. So on the front of the truck, what I did is I stamped the little grill and the fender on the red, and then I did the piece in white so I could pop it with Stamping Dimensional. So let me add that one. So there's that one. So we need that die, and then the tires, you can cut 2 at a time, which I thought was great. And I've got washi tape here so I can tape everything in place. So I apologize for taking a little bit of time here to get all my pieces cut, but I wanted you to see what they look like. Now this is the one we're only going to partially cut out the front of the grill. And then we've got the 2 fenders and the tree. I'm going to put the tree die in place. Now with the tree die, this glues to the inside of the truck, so they leave a little bit of cardstock there to add glue, to add your adhesive to. Okay, there's one of the fenders. So as you can see, you can cut quite a few pieces in one swoop when you're doing this. Okay. Now let's see if they all came out okay. So there's my tree, my 2 fenders, and then my tires and my little bumper, whatever it's called. Now, as for myself, and maybe you'll feel differently, I did not like the tires having all that white space. Now, this one didn't cut quite perfectly, but half of it's going to be hidden with the fender anyway. So what I did is I used my blends marker and I colored the white around the tires to make them black. And just remember, if they're not cut perfectly, just use the ones that are so under your fender so you can cover the little, you know, like right here I don't have a lot of white. I'll put that piece under the fender. So it's up to you if you want to leave the tires white or color this in like I'm doing. Okay, so let me put all of these pieces on here. And then we're going to bring out the truck itself. This is so neat how this comes together. It's going to take a little bit of time to watch this, but it's worth it. So you need to fold on all the score lines. It kind of helps you when you have to start stamping all the little windows so that you can see the score lines. And then you got all these little tabs. It looks complicated, but it really is not. It's like everything's done for you. You just fold and glue it in place. Okay, so now we need to add some detail to the truck. So on each truck, on each side, we have windows that we need to stamp. Now to help me see where my score line is, what I did is I took a Post-it note, added it to the top so I know where the top of my pickup sits. So here's the first window. It also does the little doorknob. I'm going to color that in. Next, flip the little Post-it note over, do the other window, which is the opposite stamp image. You got a left facing window and a right facing window. Again, we're going to color the little handle. Next, we've got the window that goes to the back of the truck. Whoops. This one is a split panel. And then we've got two more. We've got the front window. Whoops, that's a little crooked. So here's the front window. And then right below that is where the grill is going to go. Now, one thing about the grill. I'm trying to think. Yeah, see, I almost did it wrong. You have to do the window. This is the hood of the truck, and the grill goes on the bottom part. The first time I did this, I stamped the grill on this part. So I had to redo. So your Post-it note actually goes towards the bottom portion. Right there. Make sure the headlights are at the top. Okay, and there's your little grill. Isn't that cute? So all your pieces are stamped. Now we can start gluing some of the tires. So you can pretty much get this all in place, get all the pieces in place before you start folding and gluing the truck. So there's my 4 tires. Now this is the one that didn't have a lot of white at the top. So I'm going to point the, actually wait a minute, that needs to go on the back. That's the one I want to cover with the fender. So I'm going to swap them over. And now we need 2 fenders that are going in opposite directions. I did glue those down with mini dimensionals. Oh, that's stuck to my fingernail. So this one's going to go right over the tire like that. This looks like all those old antique pickups. They're so cute. Okay, Now, one thing that I didn't like when I was doing this, I didn't like that the windows were red. So what I did is I brought in my white ink pad, and I squeezed the lid. I want to use the white ink that's in the lid. And again, using an aqua painter, I'm just going to add some white to the windows. Doesn't that look better? I like that look a lot better than having, and it makes it stand out more. It looks more 3D-ish. So I'm going to do that to all of these. So I'm going to finish off the 3D project first, and then we'll work on the card, which is going to be similar. Okay, now what else do we have? We need the little bumper, and I just glued that on flat. And then I also didn't like that the headlights really didn't stand out. So I brought in some clear faceted gems. I'm using the smallest size, and they fit perfectly over the hole. Don't these look like headlights? I thought they did. And then lastly, actually I glued these on last, so now we're ready to assemble the truck. So we're going to add glue to the little tabs. So there's 6 tabs, and then you have the bed of the truck. So now this is where you would fold this way. Oh, I forgot to fold that one in advance. So that one makes like a step, and you're going to follow the shape of the truck and just press those in place. Very simple. You just have to hold it for a minute to make sure that it's going to stay glued. Now, normally if I wasn't filming, I would probably use tear and tape, only because I think tear and tape holds better. But I didn't want to have to take the time to put the tear and tape on, and then you guys have to watch me pull all those strips. You could also use mini glue dots. Okay, so there's the front. Pretty cute. Let me just hold this one for another minute or so. Okay, now the same with the back of the truck. You're going to fold down on the score line and fold back up on the score line. And I'm going to glue these little tabs are going to go behind the window, and then these ones go down into the bed of the truck. Now when you're doing the bed, what I did is I lined up this one on the bottom because, I'll show you what I mean here in a second if I can get it in there. The bed of the truck has a little space here where you're going to glue the tree down. Okay, so let me just hold that just for a few seconds. And then same thing on this side. We're going to bend the tab over for the back, and then put this in place and line up the bottom. Now let me see if I can just hold everything in place here. And then while that's sitting there, we'll get the trees ready. So you can see it's fairly easy. You just need to line up your tabs. I didn't remove the backing off one of my dimensionals. Okay, so there's my little pickup. I just need to hold it. And you know, if you have little clothespins to hold this in place too, you could put clothespins like right there and right there on each side just to hold it in place. But I'm going to try to move along here just so we can get this done. So my next step would be to add glue to the bottom of each tree. And that fits right on the edge that sticks out on the truck. See how that fits right there? And then we're going to flip that over and do the same thing on this side. And there's our little truck. Isn't that adorable? So now I'm going to set this aside. We're going to work on the card. And we're using the same truck. And I've gone ahead and done the stamping. Now when you're cutting the truck out, I need to find my die. Okay, I threw my die somewhere. I can't see it. Right here. So when you're doing the truck, you don't have to cut the whole thing out. You just need a strip that covers this truck or this truck, depending on the direction you want to go in. So you can see here where I've cut 2 of them. This one's all ready to go. And then all I did was take my paper snips, cut off on the top, and cut off the little tab. And there's your little truck. So I've gone ahead and cut 3 of these. And I have mine all going in the same direction. So again, we're going to bring in the white to color the window. Okay, one more. And then we're going to bring on all the little pieces to glue to the truck. And the rest of this will be fairly quick. So again, we've got stamping dimensionals on the fenders. We got 3 fenders. So I'm going to glue the tires in place first. And then I'll show you how to do the card fold. So once you have everything cut out, it's really quick to assemble. And you could do this depending on your favorite color of vehicle. You could do a blue truck, you could do a green truck, any color. Your husband or significant other's favorite color truck. So we've got 3 fenders. And then lastly is going to be the 3 trees. So again, we're adding glue to the bottoms. And I'm just going to stick this underneath and press in place. Okay, so there's the 3 tracks. How quick was that? Now let's go ahead and start gluing some of these layers. So we've got 2 Poppy Parade layers we got to deal with and 2 Old Olive. So the rest of this is going to be pretty quick. So have any of you guys started on your Christmas cards yet? This is the first Christmas card I do since the holiday catalog debuted for demonstrators. I tend to get tired of making Christmas cards rather quickly, so I try not to start too early. Okay, and here is the white layer that I did a wash on. It's gonna go on this one. And the truck on the front, I used stamping dimensionals to glue that one in place. And the ones on the inside I glued flat only because we want the card to close flat. So that one's gonna go right here. Now we need to score the long piece that I gave you measurements for. And that's going to be scored, oh, that's my paper piercer. That's going to be scored at 2 and 6.5. And we're going to fold that in opposite directions. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this first, I'm actually going to add glue to the longer portion. The tab goes on the left. I'm going to flip this over. And I'm going to center that over the old olive layer. I'm going to close it, add glue to the smaller portion, and then we're going to line this up perfectly on top of each other and press that down. So all you do is smack it down and it grabs onto the other piece. See how easy that was? Now we're going to glue the little flat pickups in place. So that one's going to go right here. Whoops, he's going uphill. I need to fix that. Okay, that one goes there. This one goes here. And now let me bring all of the sentiments in. So this first one, the Wishing You Loads of Christmas Cheer, is actually from the Ride With Me stamp set, the one with the pickup. That one's going to go right here. Next is Tidings of Comfort and Joy. And the last one is 'Tis the Season. There you go. How's that for a nice Z-fold card? So let me close this one up so you can see how that works. Let me clean off my counter a little bit. And then let me bring in my little truck also. Let me see if I can put one standing up and one laying down so you can see what they look like. So how's that for 2 projects for today? I hope you enjoyed the Friday Folds class. Let me bring in both stamp sets that I use so you'll know which ones to order. And thanks so much for stopping in today. And I will be back live on Monday with my alternative projects for the August Paper Pumpkin Kit. So look for the announcement on that. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone, and hope you have a good weekend. See you soon.